Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome back to a new video. And today, well, first I gotta wish all of you fathers out there a happy Father's Day. The number one greatest success in my life has been what I believe I've been a great father. I have put everything I've ever mustered up that I learned from my father, who's right now battling. We're past battling. We're pretty much on the way to say goodbye. His last hurrahs is incoming, and today on this Father's Day, I just got to tell you all that, there's nothing that meant more to me than having a phenomenal father, of course a great mother, and I've tried to impart as much as I could, as everything I could have learned from him onto my daughter, and it's resulted in having an amazing kid, and I'm grateful for her, grateful for my wife, my family, and being grateful it's everything. So just a big, huge happy Father's Day to you all. Hope this video gets up on Father's Day. If not, I still hope you had a great one. And today's video, we're going to talk about Stellantis a little bit, just real quick, because this article that just came out a couple days ago pretty much screams out, hey, you were right, Brad. And I think it didn't take a lot to be right. I wasn't a genius in coming up with all of this. It was straight up obvious that it was going to happen. I am headed to the golf course nearby my house where I like to edit my videos, and it is a beautiful day after having a great morning breakfast brunch with the whole family, and now I've got some time to talk to you all. I want to talk about Stellantis, but before I talk about that, one more thing. I want your advice. I want some counsel. Let me roll these up here while I talk about this. I try not to use my channel as a weapon. I don't ever want to use it as a weapon against those who have done me wrong. And that sounds kind of corny, but considering that this channel has pretty much morphed into a consumer advocacy channel where I really work hard to try to save all of you from making mistakes, save you from overpaying, save you from paying markups. I have never paid a markup in my life. Not a single markup on buying a car. But we've all paid a certain level of markups on products and services that we've enjoyed in our lives. And that's fine. I don't mind paying for a very expensive steak or very expensive martini at a very expensive high-end restaurant when the service is so incredibly good that you feel that it was worth it when you left. But recently, I'm not going to name the company yet because I would love your input on this. Recently, I have discovered that I myself, yes, the consumer advocate, the guy that fights for the consumer, I've fallen into a position, and let me know if you've been in this situation before, where because you like a business so much that you just stop shopping around. You don't shop prices, and they've established a level of trust with you, so you let them have that trust, and then they take advantage of that trust. And then they slowly, incrementally, over time, decide that, well, we can charge a lot more for stuff to this guy, and he won't know the difference because he trusts us so much that at this point he won't even shop us like everyone else does. And I believe that's what's happened to me with a local business that I've used for years, tied to the automotive industry, tied towards the car stuff that I talk about all the time. And it's just in this last week and a half that two circumstances have arisen, and the first one I chalked up to, all right, it happens. If it's the only thing that's happened in 10 years, so be it. But the second one happened with my daughter in her car, and I'm in protective dad mode on Father's Day, where I feel like I want to incinerate this business because I believe they're doing this to others. And it's gouging to an insane degree on pricing. But now I think I've caught him. I know I caught him, and it's something that I think should be exposed. Now I've got massive clout on Google, so I can do the Google reviews, and I can definitely incinerate them there, which I probably will do. But I wanted to find out from you all: is that something you'd be interested in? A situation where I myself and my family have gotten burned, or they attempted to burn us. I caught them, And I don't want anybody else to get burned by this business that for 10 years I believed was doing me really well. And it's not a huge business, it's a huge franchise. So there might be an owner that gets blasted and gets hurt by it. But what they're doing to people and what they tried to do to us was pretty egregious. Should I do it? Should I do a video on them? Or should I let it go and just stop going to them? Using the channel as a weapon is not something I've ever done. But for the first time, in a long time, in forever, since I've had this channel, I gotta think, man, it's going to take a lot for me not to. But I'd love to know what you all think I should do. Do you want me to tell the story? Do you want me to show you that it's not just car dealerships that do you dirty? That dirtiness comes in many forms, and oftentimes it comes after trust has been established, and then they believe that, well, since we're friends, since we're tight, since we're cool, I can do this to you. And it stings. And I think they're probably doing it to a lot of people. So let me know. I'm sorry to get off on that tangent. But now let's talk about this article, and I'll make this quick. This article is great. It was in Fortune. It came to me in Yahoo Finance, but definitely came from Fortune. And the headline is, you ready for this? Stellantis boss, Mr. Tavares, blames his arrogance for failing to spot 3 mistakes that led to a double-digit sales decline in the U.S. I'm dying to know what those 3 are. I know you all are, so I couldn't click on this fast enough. I saw TK do a video on this as well, and I got to tell you, it's kind of comedic when you think about it. So let me go and share with you the 3 things. And this is called corporate speak. I've seen it for many years in many businesses that when CEOs get so caught up in how brilliant they are that they use the most colorful language, the most, weirdest, craziest sentences and huge words to try to confuse the daylights out of everybody and not look as bad, even when they're in trouble and looking bad. So when you hear this, you're going to die laughing. So, of course, Stellantis' sales have been dropping pretty heavily, and they're going to, this next quarter numbers, it's this quarter's numbers, next quarter when they report them, are going to be just bloody. It's going to be worse. If they think it's been bad, it's going to be worse. Way worse. And when they launch that EV piece of junk charger thing, it's going to be even worse. So I still believe Tavares as a CEO is not long for this world if that company has any desire to survive. And would that save Dodge? Probably not. They've got too much invested in heading in this bad direction, which is why he had to blame this on 3 really funny things. Really kind of blurry things. Hard for the average man like myself to understand without delving into it and trying to piece together things myself. So let's go to those 3 things. Bryce said Stellantis was too slow to sell down inventory. That was the first thing. Too slow to sell down inventory. Why don't you say, well, we didn't give incentives to our dealerships. We overpriced our inventory to luxury car levels, and we did it precipitously over the years to getting to a place to where now you're charging BMW, Mercedes prices for, and Land Rover prices for SUVs at Jeep and Dodge Challengers, Chargers, Hellcats, and Red Eyes, and all that fun stuff. So you say that the Stellantis was too slow to sell down inventory. Well, why don't you just say what it really means? The things you did to cause that, those things are way more egregious. Like, we just didn't sell down inventory. What do you mean? You didn't want to sell down inventory? Or you were telling buyers, no, we don't want to sell it, we want to keep it? What did you do to make inventory not sell down? Well, let's be clear. You, instead of saying that, say, we dramatically overpriced our products. We started to want to compete with luxury brands. When we aren't a luxury brand, we forgot who our customer was. We were a more affordable blue-collar brand, which is what we all loved about that company. And we tried to go luxury and high-end, yet we deteriorated quality. Oh, wait a minute. That's the next thing. Then he says, ran into manufacturing issues, which means you let your quality slide. Okay, so you were charging luxury car, luxury truck, luxury SUV prices for less quality products. Okay, that's a cost-cutting mistake he made, and him slow rolling, improving that, listening to the UAW workers, listening to the complaints of the customers, paying attention to everybody screaming from the mountaintops that their quality was starting to slide. Just the 2023 products alone, my Challenger Scat Pack Swinger has door panels peeling off and other issues. It's been in the shop more than any of my other Challengers Chargers I've ever had. So yeah, you had manufacturing issues, yet you charged way more for these cars. You wanted luxury car prices, and you didn't want to pay attention to quality. Wow, you sound like a slumlord. We want big, big rents, but we don't want to do anything for the people living in the places. And then the third one, this one's hilarious. And we lacked, quote, sophistication in the way to go to market. And he goes on to blame it on basically marketing. Your marketing strategy, if you have a marketing strategy that is suboptimal, at the moment when your inventory grows and your plants start having problems, you think you can fix each of the issues in isolation, but if these three things happen at the same time, it's more difficult, he added. And it talks about the 14% decline in sales. So let's get back to marketing strategy that is suboptimal. The Grand Wagoneer, we're marketing against Land Rover, Mercedes. I mean, you were heading into BMW 7 Series prices for a Wagoneer, and I mean the 7 Series SUV. I mean, you were trying to parallel alongside long-time luxury markets. Yet, not a single one of your dealers has ever dealt with real luxury business on a mass level. And I said this to a Mercedes sales guy the other day. I said, the one thing about you guys, I got to hand it to you. Even if you screw me, boy, do you do it with lots of love and care. I mean, you are the sweetest people in the world. You treat me so good. You give us lattes and coffees and donuts. Hell, one time they had a beautiful buffet of amazing food and caviar and all kinds of stuff in the BMW dealership when I was buying my 740. I mean, at least the experience is different. They used to throw roses on the dash of my Mercedes when I would get it serviced at the dealership. At Dodge, I'm lucky if I get the thing washed. So when he says they went to market with a bad marketing strategy, oh, absolutely they did. Way overpriced. They lost who their customer was. They stopped marketing to their customer and tried to go after customers who spent their money with significantly better brands and better products and better cars. They hit the market with a car called the Dodge Hornet and called it a gateway to muscle and rolled it out as Speed Week, which was a stupid marketing strategy. And what he's not getting is they're doing it again with the Daytona EV. The Daytona EV Charger that's coming out, I'll say this over and over again, even though they will not listen, and I will be watching him lose his job, hopefully, and someone's going to say, let's go watch this guy's video maybe. This is a dream I have, where I said the EVs should have been the SXT and the GT, and they wouldn't have had to squeeze as much power, and they should have went for range. Range is the number one thing everybody wants in an EV. That's it. I don't care about performance. You can go buy a Plaid if you want that. You can go buy the Ioniq N or whatever if you want that. We want range. So that's why people buy the SXT and the GT. You're going to get better gas mileage. It's more affordable. They should have taken that EV to market as a Dodge Charger, SXT, and GT with a little bit different body for the GT, made to look cooler, and sold that thing for under $30,000. They would have had a chance to sell all kinds of those things. And then rolled out the Scat Pack and the RT as the twin turbo inline six. That's simple. That's simple marketing. And that's what I'm talking about when I read this, that they went to market with a bad strategy, a bad marketing strategy. They're doing it again. Right now, if they shifted gears and said, forget about this high horsepower EV Charger, let's just tune those things way down, because they're tuning them way up for the first year, which is killing range. Let's hit 400 miles in range. Let's solidify the deal with Tesla to be able to access the supercharger network, which they've been talking about, but have yet to have solidified. Come to market with that EV when they have the Tesla supercharger access with a 400 plus mile range, call it the SXT and the GT, and boom, if people need to buy those things or need cheap cars with great economics behind them and efficiencies, that's what they can get. and then come to market with the GT, or I'm sorry, come to market with the RT and the Scat Pack with the most beefed up twin turbo inline sixes you can possibly give us with all-wheel drive. And I'll tell you right now, I'll just speak for myself. Much as I miss the Hemi and I love the Hemi and I'm pissed the Hemi's going away, I would go and buy one of those things if it came to me with approaching, let's say, 600 horsepower and all-wheel drive, because that thing would be insane. Then they would be smoking BMWs out there with similar engines all day long for a lot less money if they kept those prices in the 50 range, okay? I'm talking 40 to 50, max maybe 60 with the top-of-the-line model. They would have a chance, but instead what they're going to do is they're going to come to market with, I'm going to bet anything, $70,000. Even he says in this article he's going to come with affordable products. No, it's going to be Jeep stuff. They come to the market with affordable products. But this Dodge Charger is going to be really expensive. Nobody's going to buy it, and they're going to be crying the blues even more when they start reporting these quarterly results. So with that, everybody, it's a big fat I told you so. Let me know what you think about incinerating or exposing the place that's doing my family dirty. I don't know if I want to do that. See you in the next one, everybody. Like and subscribe.